A very good morning, esteemed Board of Directors. I am Wasiilah Binte Azman. Welcome to the Australian Conference of Economists. Today, I will walk you through key economics principles that affect market dynamics and labor forces. We will begin with understanding how consumption taxes will alter consumer and producer welfare, examine the impact of tariffs on international trade, and delve into how generative AI can reshape the labor market and productivity. Finally, we will conclude by exploring the behavioral economics behind why people often make unhealthy food choices despite knowing better. Let's start by examining the concept of consumer and producer surplus before taxes are introduced. In the diagram that I have provided below in the slide, consumer surplus is the area above the price level and below the demand curve, which represents the benefit consumers receive by paying less than they are willing to. Similarly, producer surplus is the area below the price but above the supply curve, representing the benefit producers receive by selling at a higher price than their minimum acceptable price. Now, review a diagram after a consumption tax had been introduced. When a consumption tax is applied, the supply curve shifts upwards. This change leads to higher prices for both consumers and lower net revenue for producers. Both surpluses decrease, and the area between the new and old supply curves represents deadweight loss, the lost economic efficiency that results from fewer transactions taking place in the market due to higher prices. This loss is critical as it reflects not only missed gains for both buyers and sellers, but also a reduction in overall economic welfare. Next, let's consider tariffs, taxes on imported goods. Like consumption taxes, tariffs reduce both consumer and producer surpluses, but the mechanism is different. Before a tariff, consumers benefit from lower prices due to competition between domestic and international producers. However, when a tariff is introduced, the price of import rises, while benefit domestic producers by reducing competition, allowing them to charge higher prices. But this comes at a cost. The consumer surplus shrinks as consumers pay more for fewer goods, and international trade declines. The deadweight loss that occurs is the result of this protectionism, as few goods are traded globally, and efficiency is sacrificed to favor domestic producers. While tariffs can help protect local industries, they reduce overall economic welfare by stifling international trade. The differences between deadweight loss for consumption tax and tariffs is that although both consumption taxes and tariffs create deadweight loss, the key difference lies in where the inefficiency occurs. Consumption taxes distort the entire domestic market by raising prices and reducing quantity sold. In contrast, tariffs specifically distort international trade by artificially inflating prices for imported goods and protecting domestic industries. This difference shapes how the loss affects overall economic efficiencies. Generative AI is one of the most transformative forces in today's labor market, but its effects on inequality are twofold. In one scenario, generative AI reduces inequality by automating repetitive and low-skill tasks, freeing up workers for more complex and higher-paying jobs. This allows low-skilled workers to move up the skill ladder, allowing helping to narrow the wage gap between lower and higher skilled workers. This scenario could lead to a more equal distribution of income, with generative AI serving as a tool for empowerment and economic mobility. However, In a contrasting scenario, generative AI may exacerbate inequality by favoring high-skilled workers who are best positioned to benefit from AI capabilities. If low-skilled workers are displaced and high-skilled workers see their productivity and thus their wages rise, the wages gap will widen, increasing overall inequality. Understanding how generative AI is adopted across industries will be critical in predicting which of these outcomes is more likely. Let's turn to our attention to how generative AI affects productivity. There are two possible outcomes. In one scenario, generative AI significantly boosts productivity by automating complex processes, reducing costs, and enabling faster innovation. In this case, the aggregate supply curve shifts to the right, reflecting the economy's increased capacity to produce goods and services at lower prices. This shift represents economic growth, where the use of AI complements human labor, leading to high output and efficiency. However, in another scenario, the impact of generative AI on productivity could be minimal. This could happen if AI implementation is expensive or difficult to integrate into existing processes. In such a case, the aggregate supply curve remains unchanged as AI fails to deliver a substantial productivity boost. Understanding the factors that influence AI adoption, such as industry-specific needs, workforce readiness, and infrastructure will be critical in determining which of the scenarios become a reality. Finally, let's discuss how behavioral economics help us understand why people choose unhealthy foods, even when they know the healthier option is better. Behavioral economics suggests that people don't always act rationally. Instead, their decisions are often influenced by convenience, habits, and immediate rewards. Unhealthy foods are typically more accessible and provide instant gratification, making them more appealing than long-term health benefits. To address this, policymakers can use behavioral tools such as nudging, for example, placing healthier options at eye level in stores or using pricing strategies that make unhealthy options less attractive. Additionally, taxes on unhealthy foods, like the fat tax, can discourage unhealthy eating by making it more costly, while subsidizes for healthier food can make them more affordable. These strategies can encourage people to make better choices, improving public health over time. In conclusion, we've explored a wide range of economic concepts, from taxes and tariffs to generative AI's role in labor markets and productivity, as well as the behavioral drivers behind consumer choices. This topic highlights the complexity of economic decision-making and the importance of carefully designed policies. I hope this presentation has provided you with invaluable insights. We have now come to the end of the presentation. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I am happy to answer any question that you may have. Thank you again for your attention.